You're listening to the Passionate Pro podcast, where we bring you empowering episodes on manifestation, mindset, and so much more to discover, find, or fuel your passion. I'm your host, Ellie Hendricks, and my mission is to enable you to be the proof to your passion and make it your paycheck. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Passionate Pro podcast. I'm your host, Ellie Hendricks, and if you're tuning in from YouTube, hello. In this episode, I am going to discuss what is life coaching, my journey into life coaching so far, as well as my current container that I have open for enrollment, which is From Fear to Faith, my one-to-one mindset coaching. So before we start, I would just like to give you an update of my week so far, and I hope you have all had an amazing start to your week. I'm currently recording on the Tuesday, and this episode will go out on Wednesday, so I hope we're all having an amazing week. I have got my hair done after such an transformational weekend I had with a 3-day business bootcamp with Two Minds Project, which I am so grateful to be a part of, and so much transformational shifts that I've had over the past few days. And so much ahead for ELH coaching, which I have not spoken to you guys about. So tune in because there's a lot to discuss in this episode. So a little bit about the 3-day business bootcamp with Two Minds Project. The days were all really intense. They were all 10-hour days. And this was just based down at the Gold Coast. The very first day was sort of a more transformational day from your old self transforming into your higher self. And we were given an amazing resource, which I'm still currently working on. And it's this folder, and it's so amazing because it's got a bit about each of the different instructors. So we've got James, who is one of the Two Minds, like the creators of Two Minds Project, that makes sense. And then we have Navdeep, who was an amazing speaker as well. We have Ray and Mariana. We also had Nina, who wasn't in this. And then we also had Phil, who did a bit of hypnosis, which was really cool. And in each of them, it breaks down sort of what happened in each day. So yeah, on the very first day, we covered our money story. So our unconscious beliefs around money, the wounds that exist, and the secret to transforming your business, which was really valuable, because in the Conscious Business Mastermind that I went to just over a month ago, that was like a really small and really powerful time or event that got really clear on your money mindset. But this was like next level, like next freaking level. The actual, I guess, what do you call it? Like activity, I suppose, that you did in the Conscious Business Mastermind event was you had a $50 note, Yeah, $50 note. And you placed it in a chair in front of you. And James was asking a couple of questions to you, and you would answer it towards money, how you would look at it. And you were answering the question, and it was so interesting in what came up for me. And I was like, I have a pretty good money mindset. Like, I'm good with saving. I don't spend my money on just anything. You know what I mean? Like, I have a good structure, I suppose. I've been brought up well with, I guess, like budgeting and how to manage my money and all of that sort of stuff from my part-time jobs in the past, and also my full-time job when I was working in corporate. So anyway, it was very interesting in what came up for me, and the struggle it was, I guess, speaking to money. And it was very interesting sort of the experience I had, because I said to Brooke after, who is also part of the team, she is part of the Two Minds Project team, and I said, it's very interesting that I was really struggling to talk to money. And she said, yeah, like it's really interesting because a lot of people are the same in terms of how they actually speak to money. So yeah, this business bootcamp just like really, accelerated my money mindset, and now money is actually one of my really, 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 really high values, I suppose. I'm just like really, really, like one of my highest values, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well today. So yeah, talking about that, we also went through values and your massive transformational purpose, also known as MTP, unpacking each of our values and a guided step-by-step process. So this included your non-negotiables as well. So non-negotiables in terms of what makes you you and defines you, grounds you. So for me, meditating is one big one. Also, breath work is one that I'm wanting to incorporate more because it's such a powerful practice and it's so simple. I actually just was recording next week's episode, guest episode with Scott Wallace, and you guys will love this episode because we do an actual breath work practice in there. It's so simple and it's so transformational and so powerful. So for my values and also for your non-negotiables is what makes you you, really. And for me, it's meditation, it's breath work, journaling, spending quality time with my friends and family. What are some other things? I have them written down because there's just a few. I actually created an extra few boxes because I had quite a few that really made me me, or are my non-negotiables. Just trying to find them, but I know they were the key ones. Oh, here we go. Yes, music and eating healthy, nutritious food 80% of the time, and also the gym. So those are the things that really make me me and really ground me. And also crafting your MTP. So your MTP is your massive transformational purpose. So why do you do what you do? What do you have to offer? And how do you do it? Or how are you different from others in your industry or your area? So that's really interesting, and I'll share more of that with you later on. And we also had Mariana, who is a transformational coach, run a guided breathwork and sound healing session. This was a really interesting and such an amazing experience. It was a space that was created for everyone else in the room. We were on yoga mats, we lied down, we just started off with a guided meditation, and then it went into breath work for, I'm gonna say like an hour-ish. It was like really intense, but it was also very impactful because for me, what came up when I was going through that breathwork session was my potential for my coaching business and how small I'm sort of setting myself in terms of how much potential I have and how much money I can make and all of that really, really juicy stuff. So I'll get more into that really shortly, but that's just like a real short snippet in what came up for me. And it was a space where we could all transform from our old self into rebirthing our new self as entrepreneurs, awakening our potential and what we have to offer in the world. So our gift that we have to share with amazing people like you. So the second day we worked on our audio logo and pitch. So I kind of already had this underway with creating ELH coaching and shared it on my Instagram and Facebook a couple of days ago, which if you've commented, I'm so grateful. It's such a huge thing for me because I obviously have been doing podcasting for a little while, but this was different because I'm speaking in front of over 50 people about me and my coaching and what I do and who I help. So it was very, very cool. And I will share more of that as I go with the podcast as well, because that really is an element that comes into my coaching as well, because I know a lot of you guys would be open to my coaching, and I do actually have my From Fear to Faith one-to-one mindset coaching open at the moment. So I'll go through all that very, very shortly. But yeah, we also had Nina, who is an amazing conscious sales coach, who shared her amazing story. Actually, it was really interesting, the journey that she's been on, and now she's going to be a published author, and she's doing a TEDx speech, over in Europe, which she's going over like really, really soon. So I'm very excited for her. And she also shared the key to soulful selling within your business, which was super transformational and such inspiration as well, because sales in any business should be something that people are conscious of, but then also confident with at the very start of their business entrepreneurship journey. A lot of people, it's interesting, I can't remember the facts exactly, but it's something along the lines of like, people like there's obviously the statistic of people not continuing their business after 3 years due to obviously it not working out, or they weren't making any money and all that sort of stuff. But also the way that people show up when they're selling themselves and their business, essentially, or their services or their products. So that was really, really interesting for me. And the third day was if you've seen my Instagram or Facebook post where I got up on stage and shared my audio logo. But the first one, towards the end of the post, I posted the 2 videos of me in the dress. That was for 10, I said this to 10 to 15 people, but the one where I was on stage, that was over 50 people, which, wow, I actually really like being on stage. So I have like a beginner's love for public speaking, and so excited to share more of this in the near future as well, because I think speaking is such a huge accomplishment and such a huge achievement. Me being so young as well, I think I don't know, like it's just so amazing how much I guess I have to share with the world and not sort of keep myself small, because I think this is just my subconscious and all my beliefs and all that sort of stuff. But after this weekend, I'm like, oh wow, like if you hold it all back, like you don't have the potential to make more money and to make more impact in the world. So very interesting for me and really exciting. I also shared this on Instagram, but if you don't follow my Instagram at ellie.hendricks, I signed up for a Simple Way to 10K, a 12-week transformational course for people who are ready to live the life they want and achieve the $10,000 per month milestone. So I'm really excited for that. And I think it starts, I'm thinking halfway through April, and I'm really excited for that as well. And we also had Ray Pang, who is a multi-millionaire, sharing his story on how he was made redundant from his 9-to-5 job and created his online coaching business speaker agency. And wow, what an inspiration. That was, I think, one of the really amazing speakers at the event as well. I really do really look up to those people, and especially Ray. Like, he made 2 point something million within like 2 or 3 years, and I was like, holy moly, like that is so much money, and like that is actually possible for anyone. He made me realize, and he said during his speech, success is yours to define. Rediscover what success means to you. What is your gift that you can share with the world? Use your story to create impact, to dream so big and create a legacy for yourself, which I know my future self will be so proud of me for. And I'll say it here to really keep myself accountable, and also to share that money is one of my, like I said before, one of my highest values. But my goal for the end of 2022 is to be a 6-figure entrepreneur with an amazing team and community who supports me and my coaching business. Oh, can you imagine? Like, 6-figure entrepreneur, like, oh, like that is so possible for me. That is so possible for any one of you. If you're wanting to start a business, like, have an end goal in mind. And that isn't even my end goal. Like, my goal, what I want essentially is, I'll share further down below, well, I'll share it here. My goal for ELHing as well, and also for myself, is time, location, and financial freedom. Those are 3 really big things for me and that I want in my future, and essentially why I quit my full-time corporate job, because I wasn't going to get time, location, or financial freedom from my full-time corporate job. I was limited to, I guess, I did have working from home, don't get me wrong, and I loved working from home and having that flexibility, but I just feel that what I could give was so much more to what I was limited to in terms of like my job description, I guess you could say. And don't get me wrong, like, I am so grateful for my job and the opportunity I was given, but included in the Simple Way to 10K package was a 5-day Speak to Success training to become a speaker, in being able to speak to all walks of life, earning more money, and creating more impact in my business and life. So I guess if you haven't already seen my posts on Instagram or Facebook, check it out, show me some support, because this is just the beginning of my speaker journey, and have so much more value and so much more impact to come in the near future. And I just want to say, I'm so proud of myself, and such a huge acknowledgement and I guess celebration to myself too, in sharing my mission for ELH coaching, because I know I have so much to offer and to transform your life with my amazing opportunity that I have. So stay tuned. Like, I'm just so grateful for the amazing people that I've met as well over the weekend, and just the awakening I had for myself, and to dream big, like dreaming so big that it feels so scary. And I've said to you guys, like, I want to be a 6-figure entrepreneur by the end of 2022. Like, I've got so much work to do, but then again, like, it's so scary, but exciting. I think scary is the wrong word. I'm excited. I'm so freaking excited for the growth and the expansion, because as well as speaker training, like, I have my master practitioner of life coaching and all the inclusions in that as well. So this year I still have NLP training, I have kids hypnosis, I actually have speakers training again in July, which is really, really cool. So I'll be a pretty good speaker, I hope, by then. I also have parental coaching, kids coaching, relationship coaching, and also master NLP. So that is also my goal for the end of 2022, is to finish my master practitioner of life coaching, which I know I could spread it out a bit more, but you know me, I'm a high achiever, and I don't know, I just love being able to have so much knowledge that I can share with you all as well. So what is life coaching? Life coaching is a method of assisted self-exploration that helps to determine an individual's current situation, their intentions and aspirations, and the means that they have to meet these objectives through, whether this is through facilitating personal development, through exploration and challenging current beliefs, practices, and situations in an individual's life. Well, that was a tongue twister. So to break that down further, and from any misunderstandings, life coaching is not me giving you advice, but me partnering with you to co-create the life you desire. So we bridge the gap from where you are now to where you want to be, and how we'll get there through one-to-one coaching sessions based on what you'd like to have coaching on, and celebrating your achievement and success. And this I've actually referenced from the Life Coaching College Manual. This is just a really brief overview of the transformation that life coaching can bring, but I hope that gives you more clarity on what it is. And also, I like to share this example as well because I reckon that people feel a bit more like they understand it a little bit more. So an example is like hiring a personal trainer, also known as a PT. So you hire them because you want to achieve your fitness goals. You establish where you are now to where you want to be and how you'll get there through nutrition and workout plans over a period of time to achieve your goals. So very much the same as coaching, and I guess PT does come under coaching as well because there are now online fitness coaches. So now for my journey on discovering life coaching. When I first heard of life coaching, I was on a walk with my auntie, and I can still picture it to this day, which is really funny. It's just one of those things that are really ingrained in your mind, like a memory that's really ingrained in your mind. And it was about halfway through 2021, and I was on a walk here with my auntie, and I said to her, I don't know if I want to be in corporate forever, and was really inspired by her and what she's done in her life and the business she has created for herself, which I know has been a journey from when she started over 5 years ago to where she is now and the growth ahead for this year. I said to her, I really want to be my own boss, create my own hours, have a business where I create an impact and have an income whilst having time, location, and financial freedom. She said to me, have you ever heard of life coaching? And I said, nope, I've never heard of it. And I went home and I looked it up, did some research, and I came across a few different coaching colleges and courses, but the one that really stood out to me most was the Life Coaching College. I jumped on a Zoom session with Glenn, the CEO, and asked a lot of questions about the different courses. And then about a month later, I had a call with Jim, who is one of the coaches there, and asked about a diploma of life coaching. And he gave me some really valuable information that I took away and had a look at. And then I went away for a week to the Whitsundays for my mum's 50th. And as soon as I came back, I signed up. And I remember lying in my bed. Like, I remember, this is another one of those memories that I have like ingrained in my mind because it's like such an emotional time, I suppose. I remember signing up and laying in my bed and paying $9,000 towards diploma of life coaching. And it's been a while since I guess that amount of money has came out of my account, but I knew that following this calling on and acting on my intuition was the right step for me. My very first in-person, training wasn't until November, so I watched as many of the pre-recorded videos and completed workbooks as soon as possible beforehand, and then I came in prepared. So I have a really interesting story that I'd like to share with you guys. The very first day, I was walking from the car park towards the building where our coaching course was in Brisbane, and I was walking towards the building and I noticed this girl across the road where the building was, and I think she was like just as lost as me. So I walked up to her and I said, hey, you here for the Advanced Coach Mastery? And she said, yeah, I am. And I was like, oh, amazing. So we must be in the right place. Anyway, we walked in together, introduced ourselves, and her name is Erin. And if you're listening, Erin, I appreciate you so much. She has now become one of my closest friends in such a short time. And even though we've come from completely different walks of life, I couldn't be more grateful for her and both sharing this new chapter of our lives together. She is such an amazing and supportive and caring friend to have, because I suppose she's been there for like a huge transformational time in my life. From, like I said to her on the day, probably the second day actually, because we had coach mastery. We had 2 full days of coaching, and on the second day I was like super emotional, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so much and I'm not sure if I'm ready for it. And she's like, you know, like it's okay, and she's like really supportive and caring, and you know, I was like, just said get it all out, and I was like, oh, it's just so emotional, like it's a lot for me, and like starting that new venture of my life so young. And I was like, you know, like I guess that was sort of my future self, or my old self, crying and like being a new, I don't know, like I'm sounding a bit weird here, but my old self being emotional to transform into my new self. Much as what happened this weekend just gone, I actually had pretty much a very similar awakening, I suppose. I was crying on Sunday afternoon. I was like, I'm not even crying because I'm sad, like I'm so happy and I'm so excited for like what's ahead for me and my potential. So I'm trusting that is really, really good. And yeah, so I went on a bit of a ramble there, but I hope that was kind of interesting. Anyway, I have met also so many like-minded people from the life coaching college as well, who I am so grateful for and who I love to grow with on this journey. So yeah, after the coach mastery and advanced coach mastery, or like certified level 1, level 2 coach, I put up a story on my Instagram and shared my offer of 2 places for my one-to-one coaching. This was like way back in November last year, which seems like so long ago. And it was literally like just over 4 months ago. Yeah, it must have been just over 4 months ago, or about 4 months ago now. Yeah, and I got 3 replies from 3 amazing ladies, Billy, Geordie, and Sina. And we started coaching together at the start of 2022. So this was a huge opportunity for me to coach these 3 amazing women. And one of them actually is continuing to do paid coaching with me, which I'm like so beyond grateful for, and like so excited for her transformation that she has already made, and also the transformation that is yet to come. I'm so excited. And in addition to this, I have completed a 3-day conscious hypnosis training, disc profiling, and emotional intelligence, which I'm incorporating into ELH. So stay posted on my socials and my future website, which I aim to have up in probably within the next 3 to 6 months. I'm not sure. I haven't really shared too much of ELH on the podcast, so I am sharing, I guess, a little bit more in depth today about it and my coaching business with you all. I'm also on Instagram at ELH Coaching, Facebook ELH Coaching, and also Google My Business as well. And just to give you an overview of my mission behind ELH, so which all comes in, I guess, with my audio logo. So ELH stands for Empower, Learn, and Heal. The name was created from my initials, Ellie Louise Hendricks. But yeah, I'm a career mindset coach who has invested over $70,000 into business and personal development. My mission is to empower ambitious women in their 20s who are feeling stuck, fear, overwhelmed, and unfulfilled in their life or career, to help them gain clarity and learning about themselves through healing their subconscious programs to achieve their desires, dream career, and celebrate their success. that is my mission, guys. That is where ELH comes in. So empower ambitious women to learn about themselves and heal their subconscious programs. Damn, I just love that. This is now me and this is now my business. So I really would appreciate it if you could support my business in any way possible. I do have a few really exciting opportunities coming up in the near future. And I know I've said this before, but just stay tuned on my socials because a lot is coming. And yeah, I'm here to share my amazing opportunity that I've already launched very recently. And that is my very first coaching container. So my From Fear to Faith 12-week one-to-one mindset coaching, which is currently open for enrollment. So let me ask you, do you ever feel your desires are hard to achieve? Do you want to feel more confident and connected to yourself? Do you want to attract your desires easier and quicker than ever before? And do you want to stop fear taking over your subconscious and have faith by taking aligned action? My 12-week container is a space created for women like you to go from stuck, unfulfilled, fearful, and overwhelmed in their life or career to being a woman who truly believes in herself, living in alignment and showing up, having an abundance of faith more than ever before. We discuss your values and what they are for you, gain clarity on the aligned action you need to take to achieve your desires, the ability to go from a fear-based mindset to a faith-based mindset, awareness of your subconscious blocks and how to remove them, confidence in showing up for yourself and magnetize your desires, and re-establish the connection to yourself and living in abundance. A little bit about what's included, and be really transparent with you guys, is this container includes 6 fortnightly one-to-one Zoom sessions where we dive deep into what's currently coming up for you, and 6 fortnightly one-to-one phone calls to check in and set your achievable goals, access to our From Fear to Faith Facebook group, personalized journal prompts, a feature-paced audio, and access to 24/7 voiced and text message support for myself. I'm so excited for anyone who decides to join. It will be such an amazing opportunity. And like I said, guys, this is such a new journey for me into entrepreneurship and coaching. So I would really appreciate any support, and also to the podcast, because I dedicate so much time and energy to it. So I really appreciate it. And thank you all again for your amazing comments and likes and support. It really does help me continuing to record these episodes for you. And I hope you found this episode interesting and such a little tiny snippet to my journey so far into my entrepreneurship. Until next time, have an amazing rest of your day or night whenever you're listening, and I'll be in your ears next week.